feel good about themselves with the solid pitching. They've got the ballpark and good defense, because down the line, that's really what's going to get it done, particularly when you get into postseason. But the Mariners have known nothing but postseason woes, and they're looking to change that. Pitches up high, 2 balls and no strikes to Todd Walker. 0 for 2.
Tell you what, though, Dick, I wouldn't mind being a starting pitcher on this Red Sox team, knowing the way these guys swing the bats for me every day.
And a call strike, 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, Jeff Supan, who of course was a late addition, still has not found his groove. He again was hit hard last night, and in his 3 starts since coming over from the Pittsburgh Pirates has struggled. So the Red Sox waiting for Jeff to come around. 2-1 fouled off. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You look at the number of starts he's had since coming back to the Red Sox. Originally was with the Red Sox organization. Just not getting it done so far.
2-2 the count, with the runners at first and third and 1 out for the Red Sox, trying to add to their lead. And the pitch rolled to the right. Olerud going over for 1. The throw to first base. Safe at first, covering with Piniero, and he claims that the play was made at first before Walker got to the bag, and scoring is Kevin Millar. And the Red Sox have added their 5th run, and a dispute at first base, and Bob Melvin arguing with the first base umpire Jerry Meals. They thought that they had Walker. It would have been a very nifty double play for the Mariners.
I'll tell you what, remember Lou Piniella coming out of the dugout and making a lot of noise. Bob Melvin, much more of a quiet guy, but he has a legitimate argument here. I don't know if Meals said that the bag was not touched or the play was beaten by the runner Walker. Olerud has a little trouble getting it out of his glove. Then a nice job by Sanchez. We've talked about his defense. He's out, Dick. It looked to me like Piniero was on the base and he had the ball. It was awkward. It looks ugly.
And that's going to be all as you look at the play again. And Piniero has been taken out of the game. And Brian Sweeney is going to come in. So Piniero once again struggles. We'll be right back.
All right, kids, today we're going to rob a home run, and this is how it's done.
Major League Baseball Charities is a proud partner of Boys and Girls Clubs of America.
Come on, you got to rob back.
You guys want to know about the Rally Cab? Make a big W. This is an important part of baseball.
Through programs like RBI and Rookie League, they bring baseball and softball to kids around the world.
Ooh, you're supposed to jump.
Together, they create a positive place for kids.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh!
On the season premiere, did he have her consent?
It just got a little rough. That's how we like it.
Or was it assault?
I saw it. It was a rape.
From Emmy Award-winning creator David E. Kelley.
I didn't rape her.
One student who won't step up.
I didn't get raped.
One teacher who won't back down.
I'm going to the police.
The controversial season premiere of the acclaimed series Boston Public, Consent or Assault.
How could you do this to me?
On its new night, Friday, September 19th on Fox. TV personality Stan Hooper was tired of the big city rat race.
I want to be a simple man.
Oh, honey, you are simple.
So he's moving to a small town to get away from it all.
We're going to make Waterford Falls our new home.
Oh, that's marvelous. Fallen on hard times, have you?
But he's about to find...
Look, honey, it's your head made out of cheese.
Holy Lord.
That average America...
Oh, I forgot the best part. The house comes with a butler. We don't need a butler.
So, how do you folks like your underwear folded?
Ain't what it used to be.
I'm gonna get you tea right now.
I don't want tea.
Well, you're getting it.
Norm Macdonald stars.
Tea is served.
I don't want tea.
And you should have said something.
In a Minute with Stan Hooper, a new comedy, Wednesdays, Fox 5. One man controls an empire.
My business is 100% legal.
One man is sworn to destroy it.
Every politician needs a target.
Let's take him down.
And their battle is about to get personal.
Now, can you imagine what will happen if the press gets a hold of this? The DA's son and the pornographer's daughter? If he laid a hand on her, so help me.
Tell me not to see him.
From executive producer Jerry Bruckheimer.
You tell your son to keep his filthy hands off my daughter.
Skin, a new series coming soon to Fox.
Brian Sweeney is the new pitcher, but while we were gone, Bob Melvin came out arguing over that first base call and was tossed out of the game, and the clubhouse, the Seattle clubhouse, had seen the replay, and they let the dugout know that that Walker was out at first base, and Melvin came out and was tossed.
Came out and argued the play. Says, hey, there is no way in a pennant race at this time in the year that I can have a call like that made. You see Melvin arguing, finally gets tossed out of the game. Meals had heard enough.
So Damian Jackson is the batter, facing Brian Sweeney, and the count 2 balls and no strikes. And this is while we were away, and really giving a piece of his mind to Jerry Meals.
It's hard for Melvin to argue. He's 6'5". It's tough for him to get down to Meals' level there to get in his face.
Post him up with ease. It's the second time, by the way, that Bob Melvin has been ejected this year. Ground ball to the left side, and here is Sanchez going to second for the final out, and that'll do it. So Sweeney comes in and gets the job, but not before the Red Sox add to their lead, and Bob Melvin takes an early shower and does all the talking to Jerry Meals. We have completed 5.5 here in Safeco Field, with the Red Sox in front of the Mariners 5-1.
I've made a lot of news on the baseball diamonds, but if you want to find out about this diamond, you've got to go talk to your doctor.
Ready to try Viagra for the first time? See your doctor and find out if a free sample's right for you.
My doctor says it's right for me. That's why I stay with it. For more information, go to Viagra.com.
You've been spotted. You've won.
This summer, get spotted with Aquafina for your chance to win pure cash. It's the Aquafina Pure Luck promotion. With over 3,000 winners a week, this could be your lucky water. Aquafina, purity guaranteed.
There are ordinary disposable razors, but now there's new Sensor 3 from Gillette. Totally new handle, 3 blades, on springs that adjust to your face. No disposable shaves better. It could be the best disposable you ever threw away. New Gillette Sensor 3.
What do you call a chicken Caesar salad? When you lose the bowl, get it ready for the road, and put it on 2 of the biggest croutons you've ever seen? Burger King calls it the new Chicken Caesar Club. A salad in a sandwich. Come on over. The fire's ready.
No more biking for you.
Oh, boy. Oh. It's the moment of choice. Tylenol or Advil. Doctors nationwide choose Advil most for strains and sprains. Advil gives you longer-lasting relief than Tylenol on tough muscle pain. Advance to Advil.
We're here to learn how to trust our wireless phones, which is hard because we've all been hurt before, haven't we? Johnny? We're accepting that our phones are unreliable, that some features work here and not over there. That's not helping. Try hugging the phone, not choking it.
Okay.
Sprint is different. All your services work the same wherever you go, on the most complete, all-digital wireless network in the nation.
Like voicemail and email?
Even clear calls. I think we just made a breakthrough.
PCS from Sprint. Try the nation's most complete wireless network.
Wait. Bottom of the 6th inning, and Pedro Martinez with another notch on his belt, leading 5-1, facing Randy Wynn to start things off. His big strikeout of Wynn with runners at second and third, one of the key moments of this game back in the 3rd inning, as Wynn misses 1 ball and 1 strike. One and one. And Wynn swings and misses. And a ball and 2 strikes. Wynn will be followed by Edgar Martinez and John Olerud. Martinez, 81 pitches into the 6th inning. So he's right on line with the number of pitches you would want him to throw at this point. Ball hit out to left field, and coming on in is Manny Ramirez to make the catch for the out. Well, this week's clutch performance, brought to you by Viagra, is from Monday night's Cardinals-Pirates game. Bottom of the 1st inning, Reggie Sanders, fly ball to Jim Edmonds, who throws a strike to home plate to nail Tyke Redmond. And then in the 8th inning, Redmond hits a single up the middle, and there's that man again, Edmonds, coming up throwing, this time gunning down the go-ahead runner, Abraham Nunez. Now that's clutch.
I think he took a pretty good hit there.
He did. He took a clutch hit, and the Cardinals, who play later against the Philadelphia Phillies, a half a game behind the Chicago Cubs, coming into today's action, tied with Houston. So here is Martinez, the designated hitter. Age 40, keeps on going, 1 ball and 1 strike. You know, you wonder someday about a pure DH at this point getting into a Hall of Fame, and you look at Edgar Martinez's numbers, and they're pretty impressive. And I would think they would get some considerations.
I don't think there's any reason why Edgar Martinez won't be the first designated hitter into the Hall of Fame. They certainly have a designated hitter in baseball. I've had it for a number of years now, so it should be recognized in the Hall. Whether you're a National League fan or an American League fan, if you don't like it, doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. I think the fact that the DH is in the American League and it's not in the National League is one of the best arguments of all baseball.
Edgar Martinez, as you see, most active players, most seasons with 300 average, 400 on base, 500 slugging. He's right there. 3-1 pitch is fouled off, and Martinez, who has been with Seattle since the 1987 season, and that's the longest current tenure with one club by any American League player, so he has been consistent. Only Barry Larkin has played longer with the same team.
Shoot, way back when I was playing, he was a third baseman. He's had a couple knee operations on one knee, another one on the other, and his hamstrings are what give him the most problems these days.
And he draws the walk. The other day he had a little cramp, and he's come back, so he can't put that 40-year-older down for long.
That's right. Well, hey, we got the results of the Sprint Virtual Manager question. What is Dick Stockton's greatest call of his entire life? Look, they give you the Fisk home run. Where's Leslie coming in at 21% right there? You know,
third place. But you know, there's still time. We're only in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Keep voting.
We can get the votes in. We haven't heard from Cook County yet.
Yeah. Well, if they knew Leslie like we do, they would understand that that's the best call you ever made.
I wish you would here to make the plea, because she might get 90%. But thanks for the consideration.
Although the Fisk call was pretty good.
Well,
stay fair.
That was a great moment. And here's the pitch down low to John Olerud. You know, for calls, I mean, when you get a line drive that could be fair or foul, you can't give it the dramatic call.
Way back.
Joe Buck's call on Mark McGwire's big home run, it's the same way. I mean, you have to wait to see whether it's going over the fence on a line drive. And he made a brilliant call on McGwire's record-breaking home run in St. Louis.
Well, same one there in '75. You said if it stays fair.
And it
hit the foul pole or the fair pole.
Those are, by the way, those are great seats that they have put up beyond the left field wall at Fenway Park. Olerud, 2 balls and no strikes with 1 out and 1 on. There's a bounding ball to second base. Could be 2. Throw to second for 1, and they get the double play to retire the side. So the Red Sox turn their second double play of the game, and will return to Seattle after a break from your local Fox station.
Tomei and the Phillies take on Pujols and the Cards. Fox Saturday Baseball next week.
Let me bounce this number off you.
At Quirk Chevrolet, save up to $10,000 on the longest-lasting, most dependable truck on the road, Chevy Silverado. All this and savings up to $10 grand only from the guy who wants you to wear the gold bow tie. Quirk Chevrolet gets you from 0 to 60 in record time with financing as low as 0% for up to 60 months on Maine's #1 selling truck. Up to $10,000 in savings, down to 0% financing. Think you can get a better deal than Quirk Chevrolet? Then you don't know Jack.
Performance Auto and Diesel has grown again. They've opened a new, larger facility on Wilson Street in Brewer. So now the famous $11.99 oil change with free safety inspection will be done even faster. More room, more bays, better service. And you know your vehicle is in good hands with owner Nathan Reardon, Double Master certified by ASE. Performance Auto and Diesel, a local company, a professional approach. Also open Saturdays 9 to 4. Performance Auto and Diesel, now in their new location on Wilson Street in Brewer next to the bowling lanes. $11.99. Why pay more?
RecTech is a family-owned and operated business. Our goals are to treat people with friendly, courteous, and professional service. With over 75 years combined experience in parts and service, expert installation, and over-the-phone technical advice, RecTech will satisfy your RV needs. Give us a call at 989-3324 or visit us on Route 1A, 128 Main Road in Holden, and pick up a copy of our free parts and accessories catalog while supplies last. You can even find us on the web at www.rectech.com.
Affordable Collectibles' newest store is in the Bangor Mall, and our selection of tasteful furnishings and heartwarming gifts has grown. With many limited editions to choose from, you're sure to come across a unique item that's not too big for your budget. We know you'll love our selection, and we're sure you'll find the right item to accent your home decor. Come visit us, Affordable Collectibles, a family-owned Maine business with stores in Presque Isle, Auburn, and the Bangor Mall.
You're watching the all-new Fox 22 Bangor.
And a beautiful view looking out at left field at Safeco Field, and another great crowd on hand of 46,000 plus as Trot Nixon leads off. He is 0 for 3, has struck out twice, and facing Brian Sweeney for the first time, and misses the first pitch for strike one. So Brian Sweeney in place of Joel Piniero, who worked 5 2/3 innings, allowed 5 runs, 9 hits, struck out 5 and walked 1. Called up yesterday is Brian Sweeney, 29-year-old right-hander from Yonkers, New York. And the count to Nixon 1-1.
Spent his whole career in the minor leagues, has been working since '96 to get here, and literally cried when he got the call to come up. Emotional. Tried to call everybody he knew. Because of the blackout, he had some trouble getting back to the people in New York to let them know that he had been called to the big leagues.
As long as the Red Sox hitters don't make him cry, that's
yeah, that would be one thing.
That'd be pretty good.
Said, I've been working for a long time, so trying to get here.
Pounded to the right side. Olerud grabs it and fires over to Sweeney for the out.
Well, Dick, the virtual manager question said that the Fisk homer was your best call, but you were sitting in those left field seats at Fenway, and this was your opinion of it.
Greatest thing that ever happened to me in my life personally was meeting Leslie that night before the 6th game of the World Series, and professionally was hours later, and actually was after midnight, calling Carlton Fisk's home run.
Now, that's one heck of a good day.
That's my boat. Yes, it is a great day, as it turned out, in 21 years of great days, I might add, with Leslie. And did you see me wearing the Syracuse hat? You know, they're defending national basketball champions.
I just saw you wearing some bad orange outfit. That's all I saw.
1 ball and no strikes to Bill Miller, and he takes inside, moved back a bit.
It's a good thing Leslie can dress. I think all your taste is in your mouth.
Bill Miller 3 for 3 with 3 singles and a run scored. So he has 3 of the Red Sox 9 hits. 5-1 the score, and fouled out of play. So it's been a quiet afternoon for the fans here at Safeco Field.
You know, it's amazing to me is it only took me 6 innings to start burying a legend. I mean, I'm used to, you know, getting on Tom. I should have left you alone for a while.
But you're the legend. I mean, when they told me I was
mind.
going to finally work with you, that really didn't have a chance to meet you until this weekend. And you're a likable chap. Don't be a stranger, by the way, after this game. 2 balls and a strike with 1 away. And off-speed pitch, low and away, 3-1. The count to Bill Miller. Red Sox in the midst, as you see David Ortiz on deck of a 7-game road trip. 4 in Oakland. They split the games there, and 3 games here in Seattle. 3-2 now. The count to Bill Miller. The Red Sox came back and won the last 2 in Oakland, and just when you think they're ready to go into a swoon, they come back strong. I mean, they were down 4 or 5 games to the Yankees, and they won a couple. Now they're 5 back, or 4 back, 5 in the loss column, which is really the measuring stick, because you can't make up the losses.
Right. It's going to be an uphill battle. There's still a lot of time to go, but you know, as I said before, I mean, well, I was part of the Red Sox organization for 4 different stints. This is a different club, a lot more enthusiasm, a different ownership group, and I just don't think this team will fold like they have in September in the past.
Popped up to third base. Bloomquist, fighting the sun, makes the catch in fair territory for out number 2. And here is today's game summary, brought to you by GMC Professional Grade. And Pedro rolling along with 7 strikeouts, and the Red Sox, who trailed 1-0, have scored the 5 runs since then. And Kevin Millar with a home run, and Bob Melvin ejected for the 2nd time in his career.
Bob Melvin ejected for a legitimate call, a legitimate gripe that he had on a double play ball. It looked like Todd Walker was out at first base with the pitcher Piniero covering, but he did it poorly. He actually got over there to cover the base in time and then just didn't handle it very well. It was a difficult call to make. Umpire called him safe, Jerry Meals, and looked to all of us like he was out.
And the Red Sox got an extra run as a result. Ortiz grounds to McLemore in a 1-2-3 inning for Brian Sweeney, making his major league debut and doing the job. And here's that play again. The throw to first base to Piniero, covering, looked like he had Walker.
Since Cal Ripken's family got their new HP digital photography system from Radio Shack, things just haven't been the same.
Hey, Dad, guess who just moved in next door?
Who?
Ozzy.
Ozzy? Ozzy Smith? I haven't seen him since the fishing trip after the last All-Star game. Man.
Let Radio Shack show you how simple it is to shoot and print your own digital photos. Now save $75 when you buy an HP digital camera and HP photo printer.
Hey, Dad.
This isn't my Ozzy.
Radio Shack, you've got questions, we've got answers.
It's the winning season for the Hyundai Sonata, ranked most appealing entry midsize car by J.D. Power and Associates. Protected by America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. $2,100 less than a Toyota Camry when comparably equipped. And now get an extra $1,000 cash back. The Hyundai Sonata starting at just $15,839 after $1,000 cash back. You're the winner at the Hyundai Winning Season Clearance. Going on now at your Hyundai dealer.
A recent test put motor oils to a punishing comparison involving extreme heat and stress beyond anything a car would ever face. The contestants, Castrol Syntec versus the leading 5W30 conventional oil.
Bob, what are the readings on the other car?
In the end, under these grueling conditions, Castrol Syntec performed better. Castrol Syntec. Everything else is just motor oil.
Dear Commissioner, Major League Baseball is great, but what if we let one lucky fan play catcher for the day?
Guest catcher for today, Jason Weinstein. Says here he's played a little T-ball. Doesn't look like he's grown much either. And that ball is driven deep. Burke rounds third. There's going to be a play at the plate. Ooh, just off the glove. Well, this will be a day he'll remember.
No, he won't. Major League Baseball on Fox, presented by Radio Shack, is brought to you by Budweiser. The best things in life are the things that are true. Budweiser. Pedro with 91 pitches coming into the bottom of the 7th inning, and his first offering to Mark McLemore is ball 1. McLemore 0 for 2, coming off a 4 for 4 game last night, when the Mariners stomped over the Red Sox 10-5 to win in the first game of the series. Fly ball to right field, and coming on over is Trot Nixon, and that'll be out number 1.
Well, this Mariner lineup so far in today's ball game with Pedro on the mound has absolutely run into a buzzsaw. 3 hits in the afternoon, Pedro being Pedro. Not much else you have to say about a guy when he can dominate a game the way he does.
7 ground outs, 7 strikeouts, and he has scattered the 3 hits that he has allowed. There was a single in the first. Bloomquist got a base hit in the third when the Mariners had 2 runners on, and the triple by Wilson with 1 out in the 5th inning.
And you can see a noticeable concentration difference and attitude change in Pedro when guys got on.
Big outs were the strikeout by Randy Wynn in the 3rd inning with runners at 2nd and 3rd, and then getting Ichiro after Ichiro walked. Sanchez struck out, stranding Wilson at 3rd. There's a slider in on the fist for a strike, 1 and 2.
And you know, Dick, when you're a Mariners fan and you look back to that Wynn strikeout with runners on, and you say, oh, you know, how can you swing at that pitch? Wait, sometimes you just flat out have to give the pitcher credit for an outstanding 3-2 pitch that he threw to a guy.
John Mabry hanging in there with a count, 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out. Mabry hitless in 2 trips, and ground ball, fair ball, and off the glove of Millard. Throw to first base in time. Covering was Martinez, and the Seattle fans won't accept anything right here. That was a close call, and Millard with good reaction recovered in time to make the out.
Well, Millar's always been one of those guys where they're trying to find a position for him. First base is a pretty good one for him. He recovers nicely here, and Pedro just makes it easier to make the call. He's got his foot on the bag. He stretches away like a first baseman a little bit, gives the view to the umpire of where the play is, and it's an easy out call for Jerry Meals. Joel Piniero did not give that same view to Meals, and that's why he blew the call.
Call strike to Dan Wilson, who's been on base twice. Meals tossed Bob Melvin. Wilson has walked and tripled. Coming in, hitting .246. And 0-2 on the swing and a miss by Dan Wilson. 2 out, nobody on base. And it's always tough to face Martinez, who 10-0 lifetime against the Mariners. The only pitcher who has a better record against the club active is Randy Johnson, who is 11-0 against the Chicago Cubs. And Martinez headed for 11-0. He continues to throw as he is. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Wilson, now at the 100 mark, 101 exactly. And has been in control after the Mariners scored in the first inning on a hit batsman, a base hit, and a sacrifice fly. Weekly hit to second base, and Todd Walker will make the play in a 1-2-3 inning. Pedro Martinez looking for his 9th win of the season in front, 5-1.
Test put motor oils to a punishing comparison involving extreme heat and stress beyond anything a car would ever face. The contestants, Castrol Syntec versus the leading 5W30 conventional oil.
Bob, what are the readings on the other car?
In the end, under these grueling conditions, Castrol Syntec performed better. Castrol Syntec. Everything else is just motor oil.
I've made a lot of news on the baseball diamonds, but if you want to find out about this diamond, you've got to go talk to your doctor.
Ready to try Viagra for the first time? See your doctor and find out if a free sample is right for you.
My doctor says it's right for me. That's why I stay with it. For more information, go to Viagra.com.
What do you call a chicken Caesar salad? When you lose the bowl, get it ready for the road, and put it on 2 of the biggest croutons you've ever seen? Burger King calls it the new Chicken Caesar Club. A salad in a sandwich. Come on over. The fire's ready.
Get ready for this summer's boldest new competition, where ordinary people with extraordinary voices become music's biggest stars. Don't miss performances as Britney Spears, Bon Jovi, Tina Turner, Elton John, Madonna, Ricky Martin, Cher, Christina Aguilera, and more. In the new series where the best impersonation wins a huge cash prize. Performing As premieres Tuesday, August 26th on Fox.
And the Red Sox fans out in force a long way from New England, and Pedro Martinez has completed his work for the day, and the most successfully, pitching 7 innings, striking out 7, giving up only 1 run.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's out of there, which I think that would be the smart move. This team has a lot more confidence in their bullpen now. Scott Williamson will probably come in. They've got Sauerbeck out there. They have VK Kim. He'd come in and close things down, and we talked about it a lot. I think he's a 7-inning pitcher. He's got 102 pitches under his belt right now. He'll be a better starter his next time out if you get him out of there now.
Manny Ramirez hits a ground ball right to third baseman Bloomquist, who makes the play, 1 out. And you just mentioned, as Pedro leaves the game after 7 innings, that all 3 pitches that you just mentioned were not with the Red Sox at the All-Star break or right before it. They were all acquired. Sauerbeck, Williamson, and Kim. And that is part of the idea to strengthen the bullpen. Williamson, who was acquired from the Cincinnati Reds, and will be coming in in the bottom of the 8th inning. Here's Kevin Millar, who's had a big game on the first pitch, slices one to right field. Ichiro over there got a good jump on it and makes the catch for out number 2. So the Red Sox making a lot of deals, as many clubs have in their big push to the pennant.
All these teams trying to make moves to get better for the playoffs. All these guys here with the Red Sox are the guys that you mentioned. Theo Epstein trying to shore up some of the problems that he had in his bullpen. His team took a lot of heat for the bullpen by committee early in the season because there was a few blown saves. And I'll tell you, I don't think it's a bad idea. You just have to have the talent to do it. Now they do. Earlier in the season, I don't believe they did.
And the other thing about the Red Sox, and Theo Epstein telling us yesterday before the game, he says, you know, the Red Sox, believe it or not, have a budget. And he says the moves we make have to consider a budget that we have. And that may not be the case with every club, but for the Red Sox it is, as Varitek misses 1 ball and 1 strike.
It's a big budget.
And on the other hand, as Varitek hits a bounding ball to second base, McLemore makes the play. 1-2-3 inning. On the other side, the Mariners have a pretty impressive general manager of their own in Pat Gillick. And we'll be back to talk about him when we go to the bottom of inning number 8.
Hey, are you ready for an unbelievable experience? Yeah, you're going where there is no up or down. Mach 3 Turbo. Total comfort, whether you shave down or up. An anti-friction coating on all 3 blades. Plus a strip with more lubrication, so even against the grain, you get less irritation and the closest shave. Can your razor do this? Mach 3 Turbo from Gillette, the best a man can get. Now win a VIP trip to a World Series game. See special Mach 3 Turbo packs.
You've been spotted. You've won.
This summer, get spotted with Aquafina for your chance to win pure cash. It's the Aquafina Pure Luck promotion. With over 3,000 winners a week, this could be your lucky water. Aquafina, purity guaranteed.
Since Cal Ripken's family got their new HP digital photography system from Radio Shack, things just haven't been the same.
Hey, Dad, guess who just moved in next door?
Who?
Ozzy.
Ozzy Smith? I haven't seen him since the fishing trip after the last All-Star game. Man.
Let Radio Shack show you how simple it is to shoot and print your own digital photos. Now save $75 when you buy an HP digital camera and HP photo printer.
Hey, Dad.
This isn't my Ozzy.
Radio Shack, you've got questions, we've got answers.
Wanda's back for a new season, so don't be late.
I'll teach her to hawk his brush back.
Because timing is everything.
Wait for it.
The season premiere of Wanda at Large, Friday, September 19th on Fox.
This fall, take a break with the guy who just can't seem to catch one.
I have a nicer building if you would have given birth to a shortstop like a Dominican woman's supposed to. He'd be playing for the Yankees right now.
Please, he'd be half Puerto Rican. He'd be too lazy to practice.
Introducing Louie. Premieres Friday, September 19th on Fox.
Major League Baseball on Fox, presented by Radio Shack, is brought to you by Radio Shack, official sponsor of Major League Baseball. By Aquafina, the best things in life are pure. Aquafina, bottled water, purity guaranteed. By Gillette Mach 3 Turbo, for the closest shave with less irritation even against the grain. And by the new Fire Grilled Chicken Caesar Club at Burger King, the salad in a sandwich. 5-1, the Red Sox lead the Mariners as we move to the bottom of the 8th inning. And you talk about somebody proving themselves in many stops. Here is Pat Gillick, who had a champion in Toronto and very close to building one here in Seattle, Steve.
Well, I think he has set forth what the new blueprint for baseball teams are. Not as many very high-priced players, not the superstars, but a lot of really good players. They sign mid-tier free agents that are hungry to play and know how to play the game right.
Well, you know, they were almost tradeless in Seattle. You know, Jeff Nelson was kind of upset they didn't make the kind of a move, but they did get Sanchez beforehand, and he feels that he had the people he needed. Didn't have to get into the rash of trades that many of the other clubs did. And coming into this game, the Mariners with a 5-game lead over the Oakland A's. The Oakland A's leading in their game.
Quick picture of Brett Boone with the day off. And of course, the deal they made with Armando Benitez was really to make sure that Ray Sanchez had his barber back. A lot of controversy about him getting his hair cut while they were both with the Mets.
Or whether he got a shave or what. Well, here's Benitez, who has worn 3 different uniforms in a very short period of time. He was with the Mets, then the Yankees. Not very popular there, and maybe he will be with the fans here in Seattle. Scott Williamson, as Steve mentioned, coming on in relief of Pedro Martinez, who pitched 7 superb innings, and it's fouled off, and a broken bat by Bloomquist. There is Scott Williamson, the 27-year-old right-hander acquired from the Reds, is not allowed a run in 7 of his 8 appearances so far.
ERA is up there a little bit right now, but those last few appearances that you just mentioned will bring that down. You know, I think Benitez will help this team as they move along, too. It's going to be a setup guy. He will not be the closer here. I think Hasegawa has proved himself in Kaz Suzuki's absence after the injury, breaking a couple ribs. After he fell on his suitcase, believe it or not, if you choose to believe that story or not.
What was in that suitcase?
Yeah.
Would be the question here. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Bloomquist with a new bat, takes inside. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. By the way, Sasaki, who had been the ace closer for the last couple of years, has come back and made 2 appearances. And the Mariners feel that they just want him to make a couple of more appearances, not in a closer role. But Hasegawa has been brilliant.
He's still trying to get the velocity back on that fastball. And you're right, Shiggy has been outstanding. His ERA is minuscule. He's done a great job in the closing role. And I don't think Bob Melvin's in any hurry to change that. And neither would I be.
Things are working. I mean, this is a club that had their lead shaved, now up 5 games over the Oakland A's, who are leading 6-2 in the 8th inning against Toronto. And maybe the Mariners will avoid that August and September slump that really plagued them last year. A's, of course, with a big winning streak, played a role in that. Chopper up the middle, and the play made by Todd Walker cannot. He cannot get it out of his glove, and so Bloomquist on with an infield hit. 4th hit of the game for the Mariners to start the 8th inning. And take a look at deeper into what Pat Gillick has achieved with this ball club since coming over. Pretty good.
Oh, the winning percentage. Yeah, I mean, those are pretty good rankings. The guy knows what he's doing. He's done a good job. He doesn't care about us talking about him anymore. That's why he's leaving.
He doesn't want to hear about it.
Hey.
He said, we're down 5-1. I don't want to hear about how things are good. Ichiro coming up. Well, he's been on base 3 times with a hit batsman, fielder's choice, and a walk. Has scored the only run the Mariners have back in the 1st inning. And Williamson pitching outside. So Pedro goes 7, and this is where the Red Sox can't have struggles, you know, with their setup people. And so it's incumbent upon, for their opinion, for Williamson to get the job done.
No question. You would think that the Mariners would have a better offensive situation not having to face Pedro anymore, even though I still think getting Pedro out of the game was the smart move for the Red Sox to do.
And lined out of play to the left. And that's Ichiro, who doesn't draw that many walks. He's a free swinger at the plate, and Williamson will go to work with him. 1 ball and 1 strike. Remember, Brett Boone not in the lineup today, getting a day off. Bob Melvin, who had been ejected, telling us that he's only had 2 days off. What better day than today? Hit his 30th home run last night. And 96 runs batted in. And, of course, the injury to Mike Cameron. So 2 of their big bats silenced today.
I think you'll see Boone in this game somewhere if there's a chance to drive in more than 1 run with a big swing of the bat. All right, this ballpark is so big. A lot of guys, as I said earlier in the game, I think left here because of that. I think Boone says it has made him a better player.
Batted in the right field for a base hit. Reaching out was Ichiro, and now the Mariners with runners at 1st and 2nd. And the crowd getting into it. It's been a while since they've had anything to cheer about, but Seattle with runners at 1st and 2nd, nobody out. Ray Sanchez coming up in a conference at the mound.
Just a base hit in the right field. The kid knows how to do this. Gets his bat on the ball. As we talked about before, will keep his bat in the hitting zone longer than anybody else in the league.
And activity starts again in the Red Sox bullpen. So Williamson coming in here in the 8th inning. And there is Kim, E.K. Kim, who picked up a big save against the Oakland A's the other day. Has been very effective in his last 2 appearances. He was acquired from the Arizona Diamondbacks, and the deal then said Shea Hillenbrand to Arizona. So here's Sanchez, 1 for 3 with a single. Red Sox at double play depth with a 4-run lead, and Williamson's first pitch is up high.
And I think that's why you're not seeing a guy like Boone come up and hit for Sanchez right here. This has been one of Bob Melvin's hottest hitters since he came over. He's done a nice job today getting his bat on the ball, and even a 3-run homer doesn't tie the game for you. I don't think you'll see Boone until you got a situation where if he hits a home run, either ties the game or puts the Mariners ahead.
And the 1-0, Sanchez fouls it off to the right. 1 ball and 1 strike. And Kim has been joined by Alan Embry, the left-hander, who was very impressive. There is the submarine delivery of Kim and the left-hander Embry working in the Red Sox bullpen. Red Sox have 3 left-handers that they can call upon if necessary out of the pen. 1 ball and 1 strike here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 2 on, nobody out for Seattle, and the slider misses up high. Ray Sanchez, who is hitting .236 for the Mets, and his average now at .327, has been a savior, especially with the injury to Guillen. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and he chased that one, evens the count at 2-2. Mariners trying to stage a rally here in the 8th inning, and this capacity crowd has not had much to cheer about. Early on they did when Seattle scored in the 1st inning, but it's been all Pedro and all Red Sox since then. Williamson checking the runners, and the 2-2 pitch, and fouled out of play. Bloomquist the runner at second. Ichiro on at first. Ichiro reaching 4 times today. And Bloomquist, the former football player, and Ichiro, John Moses, the first base coach for the Mariners. The 2-2, and he got him. He offered at it, and Sanchez strikes out. Well, despite the strikeout, Sanchez has been a big plus, and Brett Boone talking about what Ray Sanchez has meant to the Mariners.
With Carlos being injured and not knowing exactly when he's going to come back, Ray has been a huge addition for us to come in and fill in the void at shortstop. And you know, I know he's having a tough offensive year over there in New York, but I've watched this guy hit for years, and he's got a great approach up there, and he's done a great job for us since he's come over.
And he's done the job as defensively, which is the #1 priority, Steve. And
he's as good as they come defensively. And you talk to a lot of the players on the Red Sox ball club, they'll tell you that as he played second base for the Red Sox last season, he's been the best defensive second baseman that organization has had. You can go all the way back to Marty Barrett.
Red Sox have had a bunch. Last year they used 5 different second basemen in that position, settling on Todd Walker this time. Meanwhile, Randy Wynn with an opportunity with the count 1-0 and 1 out. And Wynn fouls it out of play. Wynn hitting in the 3rd position. And on deck is Edgar Martinez. Mariners have not gotten the job done with runners in scoring position. And you go back to the key inning, which was the 3rd, with runners at 2nd and 3rd, and 1 out, and Pedro striking out both Sanchez and Wynn to end that threat.
That pitch right there that Wynn fouled off may be the best pitch you'll see in this at-bat. I don't think you'll see another fastball in the inner half of the plate. I don't think Williamson wants to throw him anything that he can pull into the right field seats. If he beats him, he wants him to beat him in left field, where there's a little less power and a little harder to go out that way.
Scott Williamson in relief of Pedro Martinez. 1 out, and the 1-1 pitch swung on and missed on the curveball. Good curveball by Williamson.
And here's the pitch that he fouled off. This is the fastball that's probably going to be the best pitch you'll see in that at-bat. That's right in Wynn's wheelhouse. Fouled it off. Now he looked at that nasty slider right there, and down in the count 1 and 2. There's a lot of options for Williamson here to get Wynn out.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Wynn, who's driven in the only Mariner run of the game. And it's down low, 2-2. Embry and Kim would be ready if Grady Little makes the call to the bullpen. Little very calm, does not push the panic button. And that's also been part of a success in a town that many people go off the deep end when the Red Sox begin to slump.
He's been great for this team. Sometimes you have to bump him to make sure he's still awake. I mean, that's how calm the guy is.
I personally think that's what you want in a manager. You don't want a fiery guy as much.
He's got Kevin Millar doing that for him.
Right. Williamson taking his time. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and a bounding ball handled beautifully by Miller. Steps on third for 1, and not in time at first base, but Miller on a hot shot. And bending over right now. He took that hard hit one-hopper right at him, and had presence of mind to make the play and step on third and get the force on Bloomquist, the lead runner.
Well, that was just a bullet. It looked like Miller was trying to get his head out of the way to make sure that if that thing came up on him, boy, that's just sticking your guts in front of a ball, Dick.
Right in the solar plexus.
Or lower.
Right. So to speak.
Yeah. That may have been, good thing he's wearing the protective gear down there.
And last night, Nomar Garcia-Parra had a bad hop. Hit him in the shoulder, and that was at the same at-bat that Ichiro ended up hitting a grand slam home run. And here is Edgar Martinez with 2 outs and runners at first and second. Martinez today has been on base once by virtue of a base on balls.
This infield is great to field ground balls off of.
And both runners go, and the pitch is taken, and a double steal. And the Red Sox didn't even muster a look or a throw. So the double steal. Ichiro going to third and Wynn to second.
Great jump by Ichiro. No one really paid that much attention. That should be a stolen base because Miller did cover the bag. No way did you get him on that because Williamson really didn't give him a 2 look over there.
And the count 1-0 to Edgar Martinez, and a bounding ball to the right side, gloved by Walker, and makes the play to retire Martinez. And the Mariners leave 2 more in scoring position. We go to the 9th here at Safeco Field. It's the Red Sox over the Mariners 5-1.
There are ordinary disposable razors, but now there's new Sensor 3 from Gillette. Totally new handle, 3 blades, on springs that adjust to your face. No disposable shaves better. It could be the best disposable you ever threw away. New Gillette Sensor 3.
No more biking for you.
Boy. Oh. It's the moment of choice, Tylenol or Advil. Doctors nationwide choose Advil most for strains and sprains. Advil gives you longer-lasting relief than Tylenol on tough muscle pain. Advance to Advil.
What do you call the perfect chicken Caesar salad? After you lose the bowl, make it ready for the road. Easy to grab. And put it on 2 of the biggest croutons you've ever seen. At Burger King, we call it the new Chicken Caesar Club. We start with hand-tossed romaine, shaved Parmesan and Caesar dressing, and add juicy fire-grilled chicken, bacon, and tomato, all on toasted sourdough bread. Like a salad in a sandwich, only at Burger King. Come on over. The fire's ready.
Whew, boy, those blades of grass must get mighty thirsty standing out there in the sun all day long. Soon as you give them 1 drink, they're ready for another. Boy, you know what that's like. Lucky for you, there's also a light way to live, the high life.
We're here to learn how to trust our wireless phones, which is hard because we've all been hurt before, haven't we? Johnny? We're accepting that our phones are unreliable, that some features work here and not over there. That's not helping. Try hugging the phone, not choking it.
Okay. Sprint is different. All your services work the same wherever you go on the most complete, all-digital wireless network in the nation.
Like voicemail and email?
Even clear calls. I think we just made a breakthrough.
PCS from Sprint. Try the nation's most complete wireless network.
It's a Fox NFL preseason special. The Bill Parcells era is on in Big D, while Bettis leads the Steelers' high-powered offensive attack. It's a primetime special Thursday on Fox.
It is the 9th inning here in Seattle. The Red Sox leading the Mariners 5-1. They called on Pedro Martinez to come back and be the stopper. And he has been that this afternoon, going 7 innings. And Brian Sweeney doing a pretty good job in relief of Joel Piniero. Gets Gabe Kapler to look at strike one.
Excellent job considering it's his major league debut.
And retiring the first 7 batters that he has faced as Kapler takes the ball 1-1. Kapler 1 for 3 with a single. So Brian Sweeney has to feel very good. The 6'2", 185-pounder from Yonkers, New York, said he was 10-10 as a starter, but in 6 relief appearances was just over a run a game for his ERA. Misses inside, and the count 2-1 to Kapler. Red Sox have 9 hits today, and the Mariners have 5. In the beginning for the Red Sox, the 3rd, when they scored 3 runs to break a 1-1 tie.
I just thought Sweeney had some great things to say when they called him up. I mean, he's clearly excited to be here, and he said, you know what? You know, people don't understand how tough it is to get here. I've been doing this since '96.
Bounding ball foul down the left field line, and you know, when you work so hard, and you know, of course, you played and you were in the minor leagues, you wonder whether the chance is ever going to come.
You spend that much time in the minor leagues. His kid's 29 years old now as a rookie. That's old as rookies go, but can't change anything now. He's in the books.
And 3-2 to Kapler. That's a fly ball, and that's drifting out of play. So the count will remain 3-2.
You know, there are so many guys in this game, Dick, that play the game their whole life and never make it to the big leagues. I mean, God forbid something bad happens to him in the offseason, but I used to think all the time, geez, if I could just get to the big leagues, even if I got hit by a truck in the offseason, they would always have to say major league player behind my name.
You would be in the baseball encyclopedia. They couldn't take that away from you. There's a liner that will be foul down the left field line. One-handed shot that time by Gabe Kapler. Seattle Mariners, you look at the scoreboard, the Toronto Blue Jays coming back in the 9th inning. It's 6-4 Oakland.
See that? Kapler got fooled on that pitch a little bit, just threw his hands through the hitting zone and one-handed it down the line.
Again, working 3-2 to Gabe Kapler, and he's on. So the first base runner given up by Brian Sweeney, leadoff man on. And here is today's All-State Good Hands Defensive Player of the game. It wasn't that long ago, and it was this shot hit to third base. Miller didn't get the double play, but made a great stop over there.
How about that? You have to be really good if you get the All-State Good Hands Defensive Play of the game and you don't even use your hands to field the ball.
Right. Well, whatever it takes to block the ball.
You got it.
And I mean whatever it takes.
And that's third base too. Stick your guts in front of it. That's what Miller did.
Todd Walker.
They call it the hot corner for nothing.
Down low, ball 1. Walker 0 for 3, but has a run batted in. And last night, Walker did not get a base hit and drove in 2 runs. So he is showing that you can be productive without reaching base safely. And the runner goes, and the hit and run on, and Kapler was running, and Walker fouls it off. 1-1.
Now here's the play we talked about from last night. Look at that bad hop that Nomar took. Bounced up off his collarbone. This is not the play or the reason why he's out of the game today. He's had lower back spasms. That started hurting him last week on a ball that he dove for earlier in that ball game last night is where it really flared up on him.
1 ball and 1 strike. Throw to first base. Speaking about Nomar, and his brother Michael was drafted by the Seattle Mariners and is in their farm system right now. So there is another Garcia Parra in the offing. He was a first-round draft pick a couple of years ago. He's hitting .243 for their Class A Wisconsin farm club. Big cut and a miss on the off-speed pitch by Walker in the count 1-2. And we know that Nomar is going to be married to Mia Hamm, the celebrated soccer star. And so the two Garcia Paras will be part of that wedding party.
Nomar, a huge soccer fan, a huge, excellent soccer player himself.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Strike 3. Fastball on the inside corner, and Walker goes down. And that is the first major league strikeout for Brian Sweeney. And there's 1 gone here in the 9th.
Nothing special about this. Just a good inside fastball in on the hands. Gets the call.
And Damian Jackson now facing Brian Sweeney with 1 out. In what is a very somber and quiet Safeco Field. That wasn't the way it was last night. It was a show. It was spectacular with the fans getting into the act.
Biggest crowd of the year, and the wild, crazy game. Ridiculous 6th inning.
Ichiro hitting the grand slam home run. Hasegawa getting the big outs. There's a line drive to center field by Jackson. His 2nd hit of the game. And holding at second is Gabe Kapler. And, you know, Bob Melvin has said, they were talking about it, that the fans here, this is not the day for it, the fans have been a big plus. They have really urged on the Mariners to the kind of home record that you were talking about. And you have to remember that the Mariners are pretty impressive on the road as well at 36-22. Not far behind the Yankees, who have won 40 games on the road this year.
Well, this had been a long-suffering Mariner organization. Teams that did not win. Slow but sure, this organization absolutely has turned itself around, and now it's a big drawing card here. Tough to get a ticket to a game.
One ball, no strikes with 1 out. A's and Blue Jays in Oakland battling in the 9th inning in a game that both teams here are interested in. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and Trot Nixon misses it. Nixon 0 for 4, and 1-1 the count to Nixon. Nixon slated to lead off this game even before Nomar had to be scratched because Johnny Damon couldn't go. And a big cut and a miss by Nixon, and it's 1-2.
That's a pretty impressive game so far by the Red Sox, considering you talk to Grady Little, he'll tell you that right now his team is pretty banged up, with Damon with the hamstring, Nomar with the bad back. He says they're really looking forward to Monday's off day when they get home.
And they've got 7 games next week against these clubs. Nixon reaches out and lifts a fly ball right field. Ichiro going back on the warning track, makes the catch. Tagging up and going to third is Kapler. Going back to first is Jackson. And so there are 2 out. And right now, here's Jeannie Zelasco with a game break. Jeannie.
And a kink in the armor or arm of the A's. Maybe Tim Hudson took a line drive off his right wrist in the 7th inning versus Toronto. He was taken to the hospital for precautionary measures. We'll get some x-rays. Oakland got the 6-4 victory.
All right, Jeannie, and let's take a look at the standings right now. And the Red Sox 70-52.
Boy, how big could that be for the Oakland A's if Tim Hudson has any bigger problems, if that ball cracked a bone in there. Talk about the matchup with Hudson and Nomar 5 days ago. Hudson really did, I mean, not Nomar, Pedro Martinez. Hudson outpitched Pedro in that game. Won it 4-0.
1-0 with 2 out. 5-1 with runners at first and third. And a 1 ball and 1 strike to Miller, who's 3 for 4 today with 3 singles. So the Red Sox hold on. They will maintain their 1-game lead over the Oakland A's in the wild card derby. And the A's will pick up a game on the Seattle Mariners in the battle in the American League West.
Could be at a heavy price, though. Nobody outpitched Pedro today, that's for sure.
Pedro has had the magic against the Seattle Mariner club, especially here at Safeco Field. 5-0 with 0.68 earned run average coming into this game. And if the Red Sox go on and hold their lead, Martinez will remain undefeated. Again, against the Mariners. They'll face Seattle 4 times at Fenway Park next week before the Oakland A's come to Boston.
I think it's so fun to watch Pedro pitch because you can learn so much from him. If you're a young pitcher or the next day's starting pitcher charting the game, I mean, he pitches inside, he pitches with determination, doesn't give in to hitters. He's got great stuff, and he's a competitor.
And the 1-2 pitch setting up on the outside part of the plate was Wilson, and Miller staying alive. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kapler, the runner at third base. Damian Jackson at first. 2 down here in the 9th inning. And the 1-2 and inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ryan Sweeney, the second pitcher for the Mariners today. Joel Piniero, who had lost a couple in a row after winning 8 straight. He had been one of the hot pitchers for the Seattle club, along with Jamie Moyer, struggling again, and gave up 5 runs on 9 hits and 5 2/3. 2-2 and off-speed breaking ball. 3-2. On deck is David Ortiz.
Well, Miller's had some great at-bats today, and that wasn't a bad pitch right there by Sweeney, but he's got to come up with something big right here. He cannot let the Red Sox tack on any more runs this late in the game.
3 balls, 2 strikes, and the runner at first, Jackson, is off in a ground ball, gloved by Olerud nicely, and he makes the play to Sweeney. John Olerud, the Gold Glover, saves a run perhaps as the Red Sox take the 5-1 lead. Mariners coming up.
It's a crucial showdown in the NL. The Phillies are battling to keep their postseason hopes alive, but the Cardinals are chasing the top spot in the Central.
This one is out of here.
Fox Saturday Baseball next week.
The nation's hottest group is now complete.
The next pop sensation, America.
Fox Tuesday. It's an all-new special when the juniors perform in concert with some of music's biggest stars.
You're in for an incredible show.
Plus, don't miss an extraordinary duet with Ruben Studdard. American Juniors Concert Special at 8/7 Central, Fox Tuesday.
It's a Fox NFL preseason special as 2 teams with something to prove square off. The Bill Parcells era is on in Big D, while Jerome Bettis and the Steelers hope to erase the memories of last year's playoff loss. It's a primetime special Thursday on Fox.
It's the summer's newest competition where ordinary people with extraordinary voices become music's biggest stars. With Britney Spears, Bon Jovi, Madonna, Christina Aguilera, and more. And the best impersonation wins a huge cash prize. Performing As premieres Tuesday, August 26th on Fox.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
The new MLB Authentic Collection Performance batting practice jerseys and caps are here. Now anyone can get them. Just visit MLB.com. Young Kim has come in for the Red Sox to finish it off. And Kim, who was acquired for Shea Hillenbrand in that late May deal in Arizona, pitched Thursday to pick up the victory, retiring all 6 batters he faced in the 9th and 10th, and slowly getting his rhythm as the closer for the Red Sox team.
9 saves for this team. He's the franchise leader in saves for the Arizona Diamondbacks. This is the guy who actually wants to be a starting pitcher. Starting pitcher on the Korean national team before he came here, and does an outstanding job as a closer, but he wants the ball every 5th day.
I understand he actually grew up wearing a Boston Red Sox cap in Gwangju in South Korea, so he might have had an omen as Olerud fouls it out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. Very tricky with that submarine delivery and all sorts of sliders. As you see, the Red Sox at 5.07 have the 3rd highest bullpen earned run average, thus the moves made by Theo Epstein.
BK a little tougher on right-handed hitters than he is on the lefties, but with a hard sinking fastball, good slider. Decent changeup.
Here's the 0-2 to Olruth, and off the fist, shallow to left field. Ramirez makes the catch, and there's one away. And right now, here's Jeannie Zelasco with a game break.
And the Marlins are thinking wild card. San Diego's Gary Bennett thinking home run. Gary got his wish, a 2-run shot, second of the season, off Florida phenom Dontrell Willis. It is the Padres 3, the Marlins 1, top 5.
All right, so the Florida Marlins, who are battling the Philadelphia Phillies, among other clubs, for the wild card. What a great story that has been for the Florida Marlins, as Mark McLemore takes a strike on the inside corner. Jack McKeon taking over, and the team is something like 21 games over 500 since he has taken over. Willis a big part of that, but today the Padres have the measure of the Marlins 3-1. No balls, 2 strikes with 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th inning, as Kim tries to nail it down for the Red Sox. Not a save situation, of course, as the pitch comes in low and away, 1-2.
He's just out there to make sure they finish this thing up. Nail it down for Pedro, which has been a problem for this team all season long.
And the 1-2, and McLemore strikes out. And now the Mariners down to their last out. So coming in, the story of this game in the battle of musical chairs. Well, 3 would get seats and 1 would be standing when it's all said and done. And as a result of today, the Red Sox, with the 2 out of the 9th inning, facing John Mabry, looking to hold their 1-game lead in the wild card race over Oakland. And of course, the Yankees will play later. And still 5 games down in the loss column to New York. Meanwhile, the Mariners find their AL West advantage cut to 4 games. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 out and just missing outside. And the 1-1 and a check swing. Producer of today's game, Michael Wiseman. First worked with him back at 75 in the World Series. Director Jim Lynch, Associate Director Kathy Hunt, Broadcast Associate Kevin Dresser. Our technical producers Dan Rotante. Studio produced by Gary Lang, directed by Bob Levy. Here's the 2-1 pitch and fouled at the plate. The Associate Director is Jennifer Love. The Senior Producer of the studio show is Scott Ackerson. The studio technical supervisor is Jack Simmons. The senior producer of Fox Sports is Bill Brown. And the executive producers are David Hill and Ed Gorin. Thanks to Chris Visser for assisting us up in the booth this afternoon. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. And Kim with the pitch, foul back. And Steve, great to work with you. Had a lot of fun this afternoon. We had to make up for, you know, the crowd knowing that their team wasn't in it for the most part.
Yeah, and I think sometimes one of the most difficult things for broadcasters to handle is the late changes when Nomar goes out of the lineup and they totally change everything around, and it's been fun anyway.
Well, we've had a beautiful day in a great ballpark, and we have 2 teams that are going to be fighting tooth and nail down the stretch. And the pitch is down low to John Mabry. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Red Sox trying to even this series at 1-1. Go 3-3 on this trip. And you look at this great crowd. And, you know, they'll be back over 3.5 million. They'll be back tomorrow and the rest of the year. Ball 4, and Mabry gets a 2-out walk from Kim.
Well, if there's one knock on BK Kim, it's the fact that he sometimes has problems throwing strikes.
And we're going to see a pinch hitter. Ben Davis will be coming up to hit for Dan Wilson. So Ben Davis, those are his numbers. And if Davis should keep it going, Brett Boone grabs a bat and he's on deck. So here's Davis, who is 0 for 2 as a pinch hitter this year. Ball went inside. Kim is missing, and just missing on the inside and outside with many of his pitches.
Trying to get in on the left-handers there, but it's better for him if he misses with that pitch in, because if he misses out over the plate, it becomes a very easy pitch for the left-handed hitters to hit.
Here is the 1-0 pitch, and that is missing. 2 balls and no strikes. And Kim, looking down at Steve Ripley, wanted that one.
Yeah, he did want that one for a strike.
Davis can reach base. We'll see Brett Boone come up and pinch hit, giving the Mariners a shot. And 3 balls and no strikes. So Kim is having control problems here, and Boone getting set for an opportunity here. It's 5-1. So even if Davis were to reach base, Boone would still not be the tying run at the plate. But the Mariners trying to stage a 2-out threat. There's a fastball strike, 3-1. Young Kim, 24-year-old, submarine pitcher, and a fastball and a good pitch to hit by Davis. Fouls it back, and it's 3-2.
Guy has a little bit of control problems. If you're the hitter and you know he's trying to get back into a rhythm, you get a 3-1 pitch, you're pretty much looking for something dead red right down the middle. He got it and fouled it back. That's the pitch that has caught more of the strike zone than any ball that Kim's thrown up there so far today.
So 3-2, and the runner is off on the 3-2 pitch, and it's grounded foul. So John Mabry was running, and the first baseman Kevin Millar playing deep and guarding the line at first. So they'll do it again with the count full. There's the runner, John Mabry. And Ben Davis trying to keep the Mariner hopes, slim as they may be, alive here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Runner goes, and strike 3, and the ball game is over. And Ben Davis is caught looking, and the Red Sox have nailed it and defeat the Mariners 5-1, tying the game in the second after trailing 1-0, 3 in the third, adding 1 in the 6th.
Just no question today. Just a dominating performance by Pedro Martinez with the 7 innings that he threw, and that was the story.
Martinez now goes 11-0 against the Seattle Mariners, and 9-3 on the year. For more information on today's game and for the latest information on Major League Baseball, go to foxsports.com. Next week on Fox Saturday Baseball, the Red Sox and Mariners battle again, this time at Fenway, plus other regional action. It all begins with This Week in Baseball at 12:30 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. So the final score, the Boston Red Sox defeat the Seattle Mariners 5-1. So for Steve Lyons, I'm Dick Stockton saying so long from Seattle. You've been watching Fox Sports, home of Major League Baseball postseason and the 2003 World Series. So long, everybody.